Jim Jones has always been vocal, especially when it comes to self-promotion, and his latest remarks have sparked conversations within the hip-hop community. On a recent episode of the Joe and Jada podcast, hosted by Fat Joe and Jadakiss, the Harlem rapper and Dipset figure boldly asserted that he is a superior rapper to Nas, one of hip-hop's most revered lyricists. By the way, welcome to Celebrity Hip Hop Showroom, where hip-hop and celebrity drama never sleep, so hit that subscribe button so you never miss the mess. Let's get into it. Jones was unreserved in his claims, saying, "Look at my track record compared to everyone else's. Check my Billboard entries against Nas entries. I've been outperforming a lot of this stuff." His comments caught even the podcast hosts off guard, eliciting laughter and raised eyebrows, along with inquiries for clarification on his audacious statement, especially considering Nas's legendary status, particularly with his debut album, Illmatic, often regarded as the greatest hip-hop album of all time. Jones elaborated on his point, stressing not only statistics but also his generational and cultural impact. He urged listeners to compare their Billboard successes, arguing that his current commercial influence is more substantial. This claim is where the real debate begins. It's essential to recognize Jim Jones's position in hip-hop. As a founding member of the Diplomats, Dipset, alongside Cameron and Joel Santana, he significantly influenced the sound of New York rap in the 2000s. His 2006 hit, We Fly High, was more than just a chart topper. It became a cultural touchstone, with its iconic "ballin'" phrase entering everyday vernacular. However, comparing his work to Nas's, who has released era-defining albums like It Was Written, Stillmatic, and the Grammy-winning King's Disease, raises critical questions about how we define greatness in rap today. Jones tried to address this, albeit in his unique way. "I was a huge Nas fan, but once you enter the industry, you see your idols as rivals," he remarked. "My son can't name a single Nas song. I have an impressive catalog. Just me, Jim Jones, with gold and platinum records, no diplomats, just me." This statement walks a fine line. On one hand, Jones points out the generational divide. For younger audiences, especially those who grew up during the ringtone rap and mixtape era of the late 2000s, Jones might resonate more than Nas. In terms of street style, social media presence, and club hits, Jim has maintained a visibility that Nas, who often adopts quieter, more introspective roles, doesn't always match. However, artistic significance is far more intricate than mere popularity, particularly in hip-hop, where lyrical prowess and legacy still carry weight. The conversation Jones sparked touches on the ongoing tension between lyrical depth and cultural relevance. While Nas embodies introspection, intricate, and social commentary, Jones represents charisma, style, and bravado. Both have made meaningful contributions to the genre. But are they even competing in the same space? Nas has arguably achieved more with less commercial appeal. His album Illmatic only reached platinum status after several years of critical acclaim, illustrating that time, not just sales, determines a classic. Unlike chasing viral trends or TikTok fame, Nas focuses on creating cohesive albums that reflect political issues, personal struggles, and spiritual development. On the other hand, Jim Jones' career is built on consistent releases and the careful construction of a specific persona: flashy, street-savvy, and unapologetically New York. Even when looking at Billboard success, Nas has reached milestones that resonate worldwide. Tracks like If I Ruled the World, Hate Me Now, Made You Look, One Mic, and more recently Ultra Black and Rare continue to make an impact. In contrast, Jim Jones found commercial success with We Fly High and various Dipset tracks, but he rarely receives critical recognition for his lyrical abilities. However, Jones has not been focused on critics. He has been addressing cultural relevance. From his viewpoint, today's cultural significance may favor those with street credibility, memorable moments, and songs that are still played in clubs, at sporting events, and on TikTok. In that sense, he may have a valid point. In an era where artists are often evaluated by their lifestyle and visibility, Jones certainly has a strong presence. Comparing him to Nas is akin to comparing a muscle car to a classic Rolls-Royce. Both have their strengths, but only one has truly endured and made a lasting impact across generations. Nas recently wrapped up his King's Disease trilogy with Hit Boy, a series that not only earned him his first Grammy but also attracted a younger audience while still respecting his longtime fans. In contrast, Jones has remained active, releasing collaborative projects with Mano and launching initiatives like El Capo, all while maintaining a loyal fan base. However, he has not reached the status of a multigenerational icon. Jones' comments highlight the shifting standards in rap music. What does better really mean these days? Is it determined by streaming numbers, cultural impact, legacy, longevity, or lyrical skill? By some criteria, certain fans, especially younger ones, might view Jones as better. However, historically, few artists can match Nas in terms of storytelling, metaphorical richness, and artistry. It's also worth noting that this isn't the first time Jim Jones has stirred up controversy with his bold claims. He previously excluded Pusha T from a top 50 list and faced criticism for it. He later doubled down, asserting that Pusha's music doesn't play anywhere and isn't in any cars, igniting a debate about how we measure relevance. Is it through airplay and hype or through lyrical quality and legacy? What makes Jim Jones' statement significant is not just its provocative nature but also his strong self-belief, possibly combined with a misunderstanding of Nas' true impact. When he said, "My son can't name a Nas record," it speaks more to generational exposure than to the quality of the music. The fact that Nas isn't often seen on social media or in viral clips doesn't lessen his influence. It simply underscores his understated presence, allowing his music and message to resonate beyond sensational headlines. Additionally, what's telling is what Jones didn't say. Beneath his bravado lies a certain respect. He admitted, "I was a superior Nas fan," indicating how important Nas once was to him. His claim that your idols become rivals seems more like a realization of disillusionment than an act of disrespect, acknowledging that proximity to the industry can change one's viewpoint. In this field, everything evolves, legacy becomes competition, and inspiration turns into comparison. This highlights the paradox of longevity in the rap scene. The longer you remain relevant, the more comparisons you face, with the past, new artists, and your peers. For Jim, who has been active for 2 decades, it's not about disrespecting Nas. It's about asserting his own identity and seeking recognition for a career that, while different from Nas, holds its own cultural importance. In the end, does Jim Jones truly believe he's better than Nas? Maybe. Or perhaps he feels the need to assert this to stay relevant and keep the conversation going. Either way, his comment has succeeded in sparking dialogue within the culture. In an environment where attention is crucial, Jim has made another significant contribution. Whether you agree with him or not, it's clear that Jim Jones is intent on defining his legacy on his own terms. If that means challenging a legend, he's more than ready to take it on. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on this story.